well, Jewel, listen, Mamba Day just passed, and you infamously have the name, the Gold Mamba, and you got that from the late Kobe Bean Bryant back in 2015. I just want to kind of go through that nickname for people who are unfamiliar with the backstory, and then also if you can share one of your favorite Kobe memories that you have of the late legend.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've been a huge Kobe fan all my life, and I was very fortunate to get tickets to go see him. After that game, I sat right behind the bench, and he's looking at me. I'm looking at him like he's looking at me like it's so many people out here, but maybe he knows me, maybe he doesn't know me. I was young at the time, and I think my dad talked to the coach, one of the assistant coaches, before the game. Was like, yeah, like we know Kobe, like jokingly. Later that night, he ended up following me on Twitter. I'm going nuts, like insane, running back and forth to my house. Like, no way. Like, there's no way he knows me. There's no way this is actually happening. So then right after that day, I literally started just hitting up with questions. How do you do this? What is this? What do you think about? And he responded. And right away, we ended up just connecting on just a whole nother level. He became my mentor for many, many years. And then I went out to go see him one of the games. He actually was injured, and he brought me back during halftime of that Lakers game. Wow. And right away, he just started talking. He's like, hey, I believe in you. Anything you need, just let me know. Let's get in the gym, all these things. And from that day, I kind of looked at him as I left. I was like, so, like, am I in, like, the Mamba school? Like, he's like, yeah, I'll see you later, go Mamba. And I was like,
wow.
What? Like, seriously? Like, it was, like, just mind-blowing. Like, my mentor, this person I looked up to, watched, studied, is now, deeming me this name. And I know that name doesn't come, it's not light. It's a big burden to carry, and it's something that he doesn't obviously throw around to anyone. So having that name and knowing that I'm living out, our legacy, the legacy he wanted me to fulfill, it's meaningful. And, I think about just our workouts together story. I flew out to LA with my brother to work out with him, and he's like, yeah, I'm in LA, come out and see me. I'll text you when we're ready to work out. I was like, okay, like, here's my flight information. So, I land. I land, I text, I'm like, hey, like, I just landed. He goes, okay. And I'm like, waiting, I'm like, so are we going to work out? Like, what's the game plan? Hours go by. It's like 10 o'clock at night. He's like, meet me here, like, an hour. I was like, oh my gosh, let's go. Like, he was constantly keeping me on the edge. I was in LA for a week, and constantly, like, throughout the day, where there was a 6 a.m. text, hey, send me a location, be at the gym. It was like constantly tracking me. And I was like, this is next level. Like, I can't sleep. Like, what if he texts me, when I'm in my REM sleep, right? Like, I got to be ready. It's like all these things. And so he was constantly testing me, but he was also pushing me. And he was one of the, very first people to really tell me to really chase my dreams. And, I was ready to leave college early. He helped that decision a lot. He also believed in me. And so for a young female who has been watching their idol for so long, to have him believe in me and, like, trust me and bring me into his family meant everything to me. So it's been an honor to be a part of that, to live out the legacy and kind of just, fulfill the thing he always told me to do was be creative, be epic, and be creative always. So it's just an honor to just have that and to kind of live it out.
I absolutely love that story for two reasons. I think it just continues to speak to the work ethic, the Mamba mentality of Kobe Bryant, but also, I mean, this being 2015, where he gave you this nickname, right. I think that for people who were unfamiliar with how much of an advocate, how much of an ally he was when it came to women's basketball, this just goes to show that before, he was up front and center with it while he was in his retirement phase with Gigi. He was behind the scenes inspiring and coaching and just being an ally to a lot of women in the sport. I want to ask you rather, how much an allyship from a leading player like Kobe, or I know Kevin Durant also is very big in women's basketball, what that means to the advancement of women's basketball as a whole?
It's huge. When we're talking about real hoopers, and you talk about Kev and Kyrie and Kobe, and they look at women hoopers as hoopers. It's not just, oh, she's a female, she hoops, oh, she's a woman, she's a girl. They're hoopers. And I grew up playing at the park. Like, it was just like, if you can hoop, you can hoop. We need a fifth. Can you hold yourself? Like, can you hold your own? Like, all right, bet. Come on, you can play. So you have that, and these are elite athletes. They're able to speak on just the game of basketball, and that's what people forget. That is not just about a kid, a child, a grandma, whoever it is, can you play? Do you understand the game of basketball? It's a sport. It's something that, it's super diverse and it's also global, right? And they break that barrier down for us and they speak to that because, this is how that world works. But we're hoopers at the end of the day, right? Like that's who we are. And no matter what sport you are, like, can you hold your own and can you just produce? And we're able to do that.
Jewell, I want to go back to that moment that you had with Kobe at halftime, and taking you back to the locker room. And when you walked out, he said, "All right, Gold Mamba." What did he see in you or your game that would make him make that statement and give you that name?
I believe that he saw a kid who loved the game of basketball. I think he saw something I did not see in myself, and he wanted to bring that out. And that's just a testament to who he was as a person, of understanding how he could bring excellence out of everybody. And that's what he did for me. And, the fact that I always asked him questions, he knew that I wasn't scared of the moment. I wasn't scared of the big ass of, coming out and training with him, being intimidated by that. And, a lot of times kids are timid and they don't want to always ask questions. And the best thing I've ever learned from him is always ask questions.
Right.
Want to learn and evolve. And I think he saw that and he brought that out of me, and he made me even more confident because, you're talking to Kobe Bryant. Like, it's like you're talking to someone who knows and has done things that I want to be able to do in my career. And, the fact that he understood that and saw that in me, that it just ignited me to just continue to thrive forward.
Yeah, that's so good. I got to be honest with you. I'm always going to keep it real. I don't know any other way. I would say that I'm a new fan, right? Probably when I was playing for the Chicago Bears, I wasn't watching much. But over the last couple years, I find myself being a fan and trying to learn more, trying to understand some of the challenge that you guys may have. It's pretty cool to hear you talk about them, saying like you guys are hoopers, not just women hoopers, but hoopers. As athletes, right, like we study other athletes. And I was talking to someone last night about secret society. Like in Hollywood, they have secret societies and they do certain things. But then in sports, there's a secret society. And that secret society I was talking about was greatness. And right, like when you're trying to be great and you're trying to be a legend, you're trying to become the GOAT, you study them, right? So being around Kobe Bryant, him as your mentor, training with him working you out, him texting you, giving you feedback. What did he have in him that you saw in yourself? Like, give me a trait: clutch gene, swagger, high basketball IQ, right? Like, what did you see in Kobe? It's like, oh shit, like this is me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like the ability to turn it on, right? The ability to lock in and mentally and just not be distracted by any of the nonsense, the noise, and just get it done. I feel like there's a challenge that I face in the game or whatever it is. Apparently, like this year, getting double team and triple team, it's like that's a challenge, right? And my ability to understand how to navigate that and be comfortable in those situations, that's what we connected on. It was like the moment we said that, I understood. I know the feeling. I know this. Like, it was almost like, you finally understand me. Like, I finally felt someone understood like what I'm going through. And it was that clutching of just understanding, I know how to work through I know how to problem solve and efficiently and quick to not only make myself better, but raise everyone else around me.